How you doing? John Delvecchio here from Street Skills, author of Cornering Confidence, the formula for 100% control and curves. And I actually decided to spring for the Alpinestars Tech-Air 5 Plasma. I found a lot of videos on YouTube on the vest itself, this airbag vest, and I couldn't find anything that showed how a purchaser would know if it would fit under their jacket. The guy at Cycle Gear said you make a fist in your jacket between the vest and the actual jacket you're wearing, and if your fist fits, you're okay. Well, how do you get your fist in different spots? Someone else on a forum said if you could roll a golf ball between the vest and your jacket. ChatGPT said, can you bear hug and do you have room to move? I'm going to share how to fit it to your jacket. And I just want to say I don't work for Alpinestars. I've read the information. I've decided the best way to figure out how to have this fit my jacket. So you really can't fit this under your regular jacket, I'm finding, in all cases. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And that was one of the things that made me nervous about having this under the jacket airbag vest. Would I have enough room if it deployed? I found that my Revit mesh jacket was just a little too close fitting. I could barely fit the vest on under it. The MSR shell that I had, I put in some D30 armor in the shoulder and the elbows, forearms there, and I think I have enough room for this to deploy under this jacket as well. I have another Revit jacket over here and a Klein Latitude that I think it's going to work under. I did recently purchase a jacket, and I'm going to kind of do it my test, the thing that's going to see if it'll fit. And so before I take the tags off this jacket, I'm going to just show how I am judging whether or not the jacket has enough expansion room in it for my comfort level. I'll be filling the system up, puffing it out, and then trying to get my jacket on over it. And I figure if I can do that, it should be fine in a crash. One thing I will say is I'm probably not filling it to the very, very limits because I don't want to hurt the bladder at all that expands. I'm going to show you how I do it and test whether or not this new jacket is going to work with the system in my level of comfort. The test that I'm showing in this video, I performed on all of my jackets, and I found that what I'll call the puff test, I puffed up the jacket and kept air in it so it was fully inflated. There's ways to do this, which I'll show. And you don't have a lot of time to do it, but there's enough time to get a good idea. And 3 of my 4 jackets did seem to have enough room in them for this expansion. I would also like to say that I'm testing it with a t-shirt, the plasma vest, and that's it. So if people were to add sweatshirts, heated gear, other layers, it might not pass this puff test. Whenever you mess with this thing, you really got to make sure that it's off. Make sure that it's in the off position. The way I unplug this thing, there's a little, you can figure it out. It's not that difficult. Just, there's this little catch here. This piece does come off, so I just, put that aside. Notice that there's a red line here, and you'll see a lot of videos on YouTube how to replace the canister. That's basically what you're doing here. And you just squeeze the little black tabs. I don't think it's difficult at all. And then we just basically unscrew it. Now I was wondering if this kind of punctures when you screw it, and it doesn't. So this thing, it's designed that you can take it in and take it out, and it doesn't destroy the canister. In this little bag that you get with the vest is a valve stem cap, and then this tool that you can test the inflation width that goes in where the gas canister goes. Now, I took a second one because I want to cap this, and down in the bottom, I'll show you where there's the relief valve, because apparently this thing, when it deploys, just like an airbag in your car, it will deflate. And the way it does that is there's a valve at the bottom, and you just screw this in, which I'll show. So we're gonna screw this in where the canister would go. And you know, take it easy on the equipment, okay? We don't wanna really strip anything. And the thing will deflate a little bit. Air will seep out of this, but I just kind of set it in there nice. There's a cap on here. I'll take this off to air it up in a sec. Now, the other place you have to find, you can actually pull this, and it's just a regular valve cap end there, threaded on. So I tighten this up. This should hold in the air so that it doesn't blow out after I inflate it. Now, again, I'm going to inflate this thing, and I don't want to overdo it. I tried a bicycle pump, and it just didn't do the trick. So I got one of these deals here, you know, this Ryobi type of thing. So now, let's see if we can't try this on. She's pretty well inflated now, and we're about to find out if I made the right purchase. Now, I did wear the vest uninflated at Cycle Gear, and just to get an idea if it would work or not. And now, let's zip it up. And there it is. I mean, I would feel comfortable all day long wearing this vest underneath this jacket if it deployed. And now, after what I do to get this thing ready to use again, we have the canister area here. Let's go pull out this. Okay, so here's our, which should normally be open, valve stem open here. So this is all open. You don't even have to worry about getting all the air out of this thing, because it's going to, you could push out the air, and I'll do the best I can to push it out, but the actual hole here at the bottom, when you put this on and compress it wearing your jacket, it's going to naturally deflate all the way, at least in my opinion. Again, none of this is scientific tested. Okay, keep that in mind. So then we just kind of tuck this guy all the way back down. Here's our adapter, just unscrews. Okay. Two wonderful pieces of equipment to test this thing. Take the threaded portion, and you don't want to cross thread this. It would be hard to cross thread, but just do it delicately. And I'll just usually give it like a nice little kind of turn. You know, I don't want to go crazy. Then make sure the rubber band is up and out of the way. Here's what this looks like. Okay, you got to just make sure that it kind of goes in. Don't force it, and you'll hear a click. Okay, and now it's in. Okay, so this thing's solid. It's in there. It clicked in great. The final step really is just making sure that you line up this red line here. These are supposed to line up, and you'll see that just rotating this a little bit. When you have these red lines lined up, make sure that you rotate it so that this is good and flat in there. Take your little extra piece. This kind of just slips back in. Stuff the back pad back in nicely. We have the, you know, over here we have, I can feel the air release valve down there. And as usual, this is still off. I'm not going to be using this for a while, so when I go to use it, I'll turn it back on. But everything should be perfect. This gets closed again. And I typically just give it a little half zip because I know I'm going to be turning it on.